long period of Mars and Saturn being together. But what is the uptake on these two planets being together? They're very good to work hard. And if you focus on projects to be done, you know, whatever projects you have, last time in Mars Saturn was I got my book written. I just sat for 10 days and I had just total concentration. And I just focused and then my last book got written then. And I realized that that was a very good way to have used that energy. Because I was not partying, I was not going out, I was in sadhana. Because, you know, so this is a long period of sadhana. But it means that you are doing your sadhana practice, but you're also any projects that need to be done, you know, and not taking risks, taking kind of, and Scorpio is a sign of transformation. It's a sign of the lotus, but it's also the sign of the mud, because the lotus flowers in the mud. So that means that we have to, what are we focusing on? Are we focusing on the mud, on the negativity? Are we focusing on the positive aspect of the lotus, of flowering to the sun, to develop, to look for divine inspiration? So it's not without inspiration, because Mars loves being in Scorpio. But we have to take that extra factor of Saturn. So what Saturn is telling Mars is be disciplined. Do things slowly. You know, there's no need to rush into things, no need to develop. But all these things together, because in Vedic astrology, the two main planets are Jupiter and Saturn. And then Rahu Ketu, and then Mars. So we see the two main, and then Rahu Ketu, which is our past life, and then Mars. They're all involved in the drama of next year. So as a spiritually developed person, as a person who's learning to train your mind, we are learning about not to react to these situations, but to try to understand their importance and their role in, sometimes they will disturb something. You know, what I've learned, I've been studying Jyotish since 79 and full time for 20 years this year. What I've learned is that these energies do affect. But we should know that there will be some effect in our lives. So we can't remain unscratched, unscathed from this, because we are part of that experience. This is our karma to experience them. Why we are born at this time, why we are so. There's nothing, but our reaction has to be different. How we are going to react to them. And also, as I said, that just because you know they exist, it doesn't mean you won't get affected. But how it gets affected will be different for everybody. But what I've seen is that it's the main thing is how we react, not how we get affected. There are multiple ways of reacting to the same situation. And I have seen people react very well to the situation. And then I've seen people who are in denial, and then they keep on repeating the mistakes again and again. So that is not the thing that we want to be conscious of. So I'm open for any questions anybody has. Okay, I ground you all in, yes.
I'm familiar with the calendar Weemoon.
Sorry?
There's a calendar book called Weemoon.
Yeah.
And choreographed, so you can just explain Weemoon.
Weemoon?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that.
It's a calendar book that goes day by day and shows the retrograde and how the planets are interacting with one another.
Okay, but you know the thing is you have to have a little bit of knowledge if you know astrology.
No, I don't.
Yeah. So, but moon calendar is easy to see, you know, but you can see. Secondly, what I'm talking to you is also Vedic astrology positions. They're different from Western astrology positions. And because Vedic astrology is connected to yoga, we use the sidereal zodiac. The sight, it's the same zodiac, but in the sky we are looking at it from a different point of view. It's not different zodiac to what the Western astrologers are using, but like you say, if the zodiac is like a cake, the way we cut it is different. Or I'm seeing it from this point of view, they may be seeing it from a different point of view. So I don't know whether V zodiac is connected to Western or Vedic. So
It might be interesting for you to look at.
yeah, I will look at
The
it.
only other question I have is, you said that the sun is unchanging, but we know the sun is not eternal.
It is eternal.
Well, scientifically, we know it'll burn out.
Okay.
So no, that was my first thought when you said the sun is not changing, or is unchanging. That was my first reaction, but eventually.
But maybe I meant the non-physical sun. But I don't know scientifically so much. I'm not a scientist. But
150 billion years.
yeah. So it has the capacity to burn because it is a fire planet. So it can burn out. So physical things can change, you know. But generally in our human perspective, the sun is not changing on a day-to-day basis. That's what I meant. It does change because it brings changing seasons, you know. We see the sun has got its two paths, it's going away from Earth, it comes towards Earth. So, but there's an aspect of the sun on an annual basis, it does exactly the same thing. But, you know, we have to little bit think physical and more spiritual. So the spiritual sun doesn't change, the Atma doesn't change. Yes?
We pay attention with what's going to happen to us individually with our consciousness and all of this, which is we have some idea of what's possibly coming. But what about on this planet when these phases coming in?
Yeah.
What can affect this Earth or the total consciousness?
That is the thing that we have to be concerned about our consciousness. Because, you know, we can't do the earth consciousness if we ourselves and are doing the correct thing and we affect the people who are around us with the knowledge. Then we are spreading the energy outwards. But we can't be in control of, just like we can't be in control of the phenomena, we can't decide what the president is doing or what the countries are doing or what Earth is doing. But definitely when planets are in a difficult energy, you see Earth aspects as well, you know. And nature is very tough. So mostly people want to do the prayer to the globe. What is that? Loka samasta sukhina bhavantu, you know, that let the world be. So whenever you do a prayer, you don't do it for yourself. Whenever you do something, you are doing the sadhana, you're not doing it for yourself. Even though it's your personal practice, you're doing it so that the globe is a better place. The world is better. So it's, although we concentrate and we are aware of these times, our motivation is not that it is all about self, me, myself. It's about looking beyond that. So I think at least how I see it is that it's my responsibility to be good. Then I can't influence, even my family, sometimes I can't influence them, or people close to me. But then they get influenced by what I'm doing, because that is all I can do. But so the prayer, the thing, we want the world to be better, we want other people to be comfortable. And in that, you know, one of the things with the difficult transits are that we have to be thinking about karma yoga. And we have to be thinking about donation of our time, our money. If we get well off, we need to give back to society. One of the big problems that I'm finding in the USA, which was not there in UK, I lived 24 years in UK and Europe, but I lived in UK and now I'm living in USA. In USA, people don't want to care for the poor, the average person, the law. They say, why should our money spend, especially with this healthcare debate. I came from zero expense on healthcare, never even thinking about it, having to spend a lot of money every month on my healthcare here. But when this whole debate came about Obamacare, the whole people were saying, why should my money go to them? But actually, karmically, we want to share our good luck, our good fortune, because we want that the people who can't afford, somehow we are looking after them. So we do that through taxes, through our own way of paying back to society. I think that it's important, and I'm sure that Swamiji could say something about it, that we give back to the society, so that in our own little way, we are trying to make a difference. So these, especially the difficult energies, are doubly you have to do. And I personally don't like obsessively doing, but it means that every month, regularly. One of the things that I hear a lot from people is, I did it last year, or I did my remedies, already did my remedies. But you have to do it regularly. That is the whole concept of sadhana, to do it regularly. I think we are running out of time. If there's any other question, otherwise, last one.